your life.
Great. Monish, you can start.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Readers Are Leaders Club. I'm glad that today I got opportunity to host this meeting. My name is Monish Dukhande, and I'm a Toastmaster since April 2017. And I believe in a saying, in you are average of five people you spend your time with. And when I got to know about the Leaders Are Readers Club and what happens over here, I thought, why not join for 1 hour, spend time, and become a diamond like all of you guys. So here I am in this meeting, hosting this event for very first time, and looking forward for an exciting meeting. To tell you more about meeting will be divided into four sections. First, we'll have the keynote speech. Second, we'll have book review. Third, we'll have audience round, and fourth, we'll have the winners and details about the next uh, keynote speaker. That being said, let me ask you all one simple question. How many of you like to read books? Okay. How many of you like to listen to the book? Okay. And how many of you like to write books? Yes. So to this lovely audience who like to read book, listen book, and write book as well, we have lot many things installed. Now let's quickly move on to the introduction of the keynote speaker. I know why you are here. You want to listen to her. Let me tell you more about the today's speaker, Amilyaa. She is a DTM. She is a focused and result-driven employability coach, trainer, coach, mentor, transformational leader, and a public speaker, of course. As a Toastmaster, she has served in various roles: club president, VP membership, secretary, associate division director, area director, and his immediate past division director. Wow, so many things you have done. You are amazing. She is currently serving as a division mentor, please note, and VP education at Toastmasters of Delhi. She is an avid reader and enjoys soft romantic music, and dance is her soul, and Toastmaster is way of life for her. Wow, a wonderful thought. Toastmaster is a way of life. Thank you for letting us know, Amelia. And I would definitely like to know which is the romantic music or song that you like before you start your session. With that, with big round of applause, let me pass on the stage to Amelia.
Thank you so much, Monish, and a very warm good evening to everyone present out here. I want to say something. Don't tell me the moon is shining. Show me the glint of light on broken glass. And that's how a reader is. When you show the reader through your work or through a writing or a book, they don't know if the moon is shining or not, but when they see how it is there, how this book has been written, that makes them think and maybe do different other things which they want to do in life. Every book that we read has a different impact on our lives. And yes, I being an avid reader, or you all being readers, all present here, would have definitely experienced a different kind of impact or influence from different writers, be it self help books, novels, poetry, prose, stories, anything. It does have a lot of impact. Now, how does it impact you, or what exactly happens? Well, writers, they just influence your life with their work, because that is either a lesson or it can enlighten our mind in whatever we are doing. It can be something that we have never ever imagined, But when we read a book, we get an idea, an inspiration, or a thought. Rather, at times, if you are confused, you may get a perspective too, a different perspective or a view or an opinion for the same matter that you have been struggling for. Well, Bhagavad Gita is one such book which has been claimed to have shown direction to many people in various situations. One shloka or two lines, a couplet, might prove to be an answer to your thousand questions to lakhs and millions of people around the world. That's how the books, the authors, their writings influence us. Well, today I'm going to tell about how it has influenced me. I will tell you what exactly happened at the end of it, the end result of the influence or the impact these different writers had on me. I'll start by, and I'm going to bring in different authors, three different authors of three different times, eras, I would say. Now, let's start with Shakespeare. Shakespeare is somebody whom everybody's everybody knows his name, William Shakespeare, the playwright, the poet. And he was somebody who was born in Elizabethan England in 16th century. He is somebody who has performed for the queen as well, and that is something of a great honor for a poet to be able to recite or perform for the queen or the kingdom of that particular time. So he has that on his shoulder. He has left us with a legacy. He started with writing with quite a traditional style, and then he started becoming more self-expressive. He started writing in his own way. He started with the conventional way as the poets of that time used to write, but then he developed his own way because his emotions were to be let out. Now I'll tell you how it happened and how I have experienced this as well. Now, if you understand, there's a way to write a sonnet, and it's like bump bump bump, something like this. When I do count the clock that tells the time. Now imagine these lines. They are simple, but when I do count the clock, I do count the clock that tells the time. Now, this is an art of how a writer expresses the same thing that I am looking at the time or I'm looking at the clock. But it is a different way how a writer would say. Well, his plays, his epics are the most famous ones. Midsummer Night's Dream is something, Romeo, Juliet, Richard II, all of them, they are super fantabulous. Each has a special flavor, but he is known for tragedies. He's known for that sad soliloquies and monologues. Now, what if you remember, there is a line: "To be or not to be, that is the question." I want somebody to answer that. Has this line been an inspiration to all of you sometime or the other? I'm sure you have used it somewhere in your speech while talking or while you're during your conversations. To be or not to be? That is the question. It is so easy to adapt to the writings and to remember it as well, the way it has been written. I would say this line from Hamlet is the most famous one across the world. I would say almost everybody has quoted at least once in their lifetime. So this is how the impact is on of Shakespeare on the global world. If we talk about the depth of the characters, he would build a character by giving them a shape. He would not explain through vivid imagery. Either there would be somebody who would be dreaming of that character, and that would be a monologue to let the character let into the play, or he would be letting the character himself or herself display that trait or character himself or herself so that it appears in the drama, in the play, or in the story. He would as if uncloak it, rather reveal it. It would be like the curtain raiser for each character. and each character will have unique characteristics. Well, if you look for he's somebody who has actually penned a lot of famous quotes and lines which we keep on quoting. So what happens is the depth of the character is how real and human it is. He would definite the Shakespeare's writings in his plays for about the characters, what influenced me a lot about how the cheekbones, how the jaw, how the eyes, how the hair, how the dress, even a silhouette of every cloth that the queen or the king is wearing would be neatly and meticulously described. That helped me and influenced me a lot. Why and how, that will come at the end, of course. um, Let me tell you one thing. He was quite an adamant and aggressive writer as well. People think that he's been very subtle, but he's been very aggressive. If you remember his speech or that statement, A to Brutus, that itself has a special impact. It has become an acronym for a lot of conversations across the globe. Now, see, it's not me. All of you have been impacted by this. He's somebody who also has a very famous monologue. And if somebody wants to tell me which is that speech that everyone talks about from Shakespeare, can somebody tell me?
Antony's speech.
Absolutely. Friends, Romans,
Humans
countrymen.
and countrymen.
Yes. And that's a remarkable speech. So the way he says, if you see the aggression in the first line, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. He's very direct. He comes straight forward to the point. Join me to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The second point is very direct itself. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. He is very clearly defining what is to be done and what is being done at the moment. So he is a writer who has very clear indication. He's straightforward, very aggressive. And when he says he was my friend, faithful, and just to me, this line itself says that he was a friend and to him only. He's very clear in his thought, and that clarity in a writer definitely impacts, and it has impacted me as well. All right, we'll come to that point towards the end. Let me just tell you one interesting thing about him. He has penned a curse for his grave, and he had dared anyone to move his body from the final resting place. And the epitaph reads like this: Good friend, for Jesus' sake, forbear to dig the dust enclosed hair. Blessed be the man that spares these stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones. So he's very clear as to what should happen even after he dies. So I liked his directness. Okay. Next we move on to one another writer who has influenced us a lot, and me personally, and that is Muhammad Jalaluddin Rumi. So his if you see his life, his life covers 200, 2000, 2500 miles. How? So he was born in somewhere near Samarkand in Uzbekistan, and then to Iran, to Syria, and he studied at Damascus, and he traveled across different places. And this writer, Rumi, he's somebody who talks about love. He talks about joy. He talks about passion. He talks about emotions. Well, sometimes his writings are very mysterious, and but he at the same time quite a provocative thought in his writings that I observed. What I observed is like when he's writing about joy, he would explain, he would mention every aspect of that particular joy in the moment. Be it love with your beloved, Or be it love with your God, be it love with your friend, or that joyful moment. Now I'll read out something for you. If you are seeking, seek us with joy, for we live in the kingdom of joy. Do not give your heart to anything else, but to the love of those who are clear joy. Do not stray into the neighborhood of despair, for there are hopes. They are real, they exist. Do not go in the direction of darkness. I tell you, suns exist. So he's talking about joy, and he also has a very good clarity on what he's saying in that particular verse or thought or his poetry. I would want to read out something about love because till the time you read Rumi, you will not understand him. I cannot talk about him without reading him. Love isn't the work of tender and the gentle. Love is the work of wrestlers. The one who becomes the servant of lovers is really a fortunate sovereign. Don't ask anyone about love. Ask love about love. Love is a cloud that scatters pearls. So he is not just mentioning about the love of to human beings or the beloved. It's also about the love of God, that supreme sovereign who is above us. The way he explains love and every emotion, he breaks those moments into such pieces that you can definitely walk through a moment of love, joy, or that particular emotion. That is something I always get touched by the Rumi's writings. And I want to read him again because that is something that will tell us what exactly it is. I want to see you, know your voice, recognize you when you first come around the corner, sense your scent when I come into the room you've just left. Know the lift of your heel, the glide of your foot. Become familiar with the way you purse your lips and then let them apart. Just the slightest bit. When I lean into your space and I kiss you, I want to know the joy of how you whisper more. Now, this word more, every emotion has been explained, but the word more has more impact because it is extended into a space which is undefined. More can be infinite. That's how Rumi's writings are. I believe somebody who hasn't read Rumi has not been able to understand life because it's so closely related to life. Uh, there was a very famous Persian scholar, Shams Tabrizi, who was his friend, I would say, and he found inspiration from him. So they have been talked about a lot. I'm not going to talk about them, but then his poems are like an explosion of emotions. Whatever I just read, it was like as if emotions are just splurging out. And there is one more author who is definitely an epitome of emotions. How and what? Let me tell you about her. Her name is Mahadevi Verma. So, Mahadevi Verma is a writer who has a great impact on women. She's written more about women. She was so much concerned about women. Why? Well, born in a very small town near Allahabad, and one incident changed her life, changed her perspective, changed her thoughts on life, and especially love as an emotion, love of a beloved. Why? Because she was the one who was married at the age of 9. Imagine a girl who hasn't yet understood the meaning of marriage was married to an elderly man without any intimation or thoughts that she could build around it. So she was quite taken aback with this incident in her life. She could never ever come to peace with the thought about marriage, living like a husband and wife. belonging to a spouse. L- Because what her dreams might have been, as it seems in her poems, is like she wanted to feel the love, understand that emotion, and then get married. Some people really call her quite an aggressive writer, and very her writings are very personal. So she writes what she has experienced. There's anguish, there is compassion, there is sometimes a lot of artificialness, as people say that it seems that she is artificial, but because she is trying to build up an emotion which she has never experienced, and that is what draws my attention to her writings. I would take the leverage of narrating a few lines from her poetry, and a contrast. I would want you to understand the contrast. The first one is, जो तुम आ जाते एक बार, जो तुम आ जाते एक बार, कितनी करुणा कितने संदेश, पथ में बिछ जाते बन पराग, गाता प्राणों का तार तार, अनुराग भरा उन्माद राग, आंसू लेते वे पथ पकार पखार, जो तुम आ जाते एक बार. In these lines, she's saying, had you come to me once, or I wish you had come to me once, there would be enormous emotions and different emotions that may have just spread out in our path, and we would have lived a happy and lovely life. As I told you, she got married at a very young age of 9. She never came to terms with it. So she is always imagining a lover, what she perceived, what she wanted to see, though it was rather imposed or pushed onto her. And in other poetry, where she's imagining as if she's a young woman waiting for her beloved, and the beloved has just arrived. आ गए तुम, आ गए तुम, द्वार खुला है, अंदर आ जाओ, पर तनिक ठहरो, ड्योढ़ी पर पड़े पायदान पर अपना अहम झाड़ कर आना, मधुमालती लिपटी है मुंडेर से, अपनी नाराजगी वहीं उड़े लाना, तुलसी के क्यारी में मन की चटकन चढ़ा आना, अपनी व्यस्तताएं बाहर खूटी पर टांग आना, ज्योतों संग हर नकारात्मकता उतार आना, बाहर खिलौलते बच्चों से थोड़ी शरारत मांग लाना, वो गुलाब के गमले में मुस्कान लगी है, तोड़कर पहन आना. Now here she is talking about her ideal, dreamy lover. And she's imagining as if he has just arrived. And she's telling him, come in. Just brush your feet on the foot mat. Don't just brush your feet. Just brush off your attitude outside. If you've been upset about something, just let it be there. If you have not been happy and if you've been busy, just hang it outside the door and then come inside. What she wants her lover is to come with all free mind and spirit and be with her. That's one longing she had in her life, which is expressed in her lot of poetry that she wrote. She's written poems for children as well, and she's written a lot of prose as well. But her poetry is like an art. What I just said was like painting a picture. It almost created a picture on everyone's mind right now while I was narrating this. Aa gaye tum. And that is the canvas that she created. Now, how it has impacted me. All three authors have given that creativity, that influence of being direct, being authentic, speaking from the heart, writing from the heart, understanding your emotions and putting it into the words. What I used to think that poetry is about those similes, those lines which should rhyme together. But no, poetry is about the real emotion that is being put together. Or rather, any writing is about how you display your emotions. And it's not just the emotions, what you feel, it's the thoughts, the perspective, what you want to present as an art, as a piece of literature. for somebody to relate to it whenever they read it. So if I have written a poem and if somebody reads it even after 20, 30 years, they should be able to relate with it. I would want to just quickly share one small piece of what I have learned and how it has changed my writing, and it's in Hindi. इश्क ने कुछ तो आबाद किया कुछ को बर्बाद, इश्क ने कुछ को आबाद किया कुछ को बर्बाद, कैसी होती है ये खलिश, ये जाना इश्क करने के बाद. Which means love has either made you or destroyed you. You can either rise or shine in love or fall in love, fall down in love. But the real taste of love is what you can experience only after you have been into love. That's what they have influenced me. These writers, and there are other authors as well, Jane Austen and others, who have just given you that thought, that clarity. If you read them, you will be able to understand what is an expression in words. Right now, when I'm talking to you, I'm using my body language, my facial expressions, my smile, my eye contact. But then, when a writer writes it, the story speaks to you. The characters come alive when you read it. And that's how they have influenced me. And that's how I became a writer as well. I am not yet published, but I plan to publish my book soon. But definitely want to say that all the great writers have made an impact, influenced me, and surely impressed me. Thank you so much. And over to Monish.
Thank you, Amelia, for that wonderful speech. I keynote a speech for us. I thought it should never end and I should keep listening to it. And Mahadevi Verma was something new as an author that you have introduced to me, and I'll definitely go back and read her books and poems. Thank you for that. Now, in Leaders and Readers Club, it's very important that we stick to the time. And to do that, we always have a timer. And today, the timer role is played by the person whose brainchild is Leaders or Readers. He's none other than an uh, Pramjot,
Paramjot.
sorry, Paramjot, if I'm, and he's currently the treasurer and immediate past president of South Delhi Toastmaster, a curious learner, a believer, and a go-getter. And he
Yes.
ensured that we finish our keynote speech on time. Thank you for that. And now let's move on to the next section of our meeting, that is the book review. And to do book review, we now going to have Shweta Maheshwari. She is currently the president of Ranchi Toastmasters Club, and she is author of She Met Life at Crossroads. Uh, I think we meet people in Crossroads, but she is telling us how we can meet life at Crossroads. Thank you for that, Shweta. She is also ESOL faculty at Alien Career Institute, Ranchi. He is area level international speech winner twice, two times. Him assistant area director, club growth uh, for area L4 or I, division I, club coach. I am Ranchi Toastmasters Club, and she loves reading, traveling, nature, and spending time with family and friends. And of course, with us at Leaders and Readers Club. With a huge round of applause, please allow me to welcome Shweta Maheshwari. Over to you, Shweta.
Thank you so much, Monish, for this beautiful introduction. So let's not waste much time, and I should ask you a question. What would you do? What would you do if you have been given a chance to live your life once again? This question was asked to George Bernard Shaw when he was on his deathbed. And you know what he said? I would like to become the person I wanted to, but the rush of life did not allow me. Ladies and gentlemen, at your deathbed, you will realize my life was a dream and I didn't live it. There's a well saying in Sanskrit, when you were born, you were crying and people rejoiced. And when you die, you should rejoice and people should cry. Do you want this? Do you want people should shed genuine tears on your deathbed? Yes or no? So if you really want this book, Who Will Cry When You Die by Robin Sharma is a must read for everyone. Though I have many reasons to share, like why you should read this book. But the simple reason is that it has 101 practical life lessons. Now, it's very well proved by neurologists that to become or to inculcate a habit in you, it takes 21 days. And it takes 90 days to become pro in that, to become a master of that habit. And if you read this book, one lesson per day, you will become master in handling your life, your stress, your worry, and will bring perfect transformation in you. And I have tried and I have inculcated all the lessons in my life, but still I'll share here 5 lessons that had really impacted. The first one is discover your calling. It says life has a bad habit on playing on you if you don't work it with your life. Each one of us, each one of us is here with a unique purpose. We have a unique potential. And this calling will get manifest only in the way of your potential. So I discovered my calling. I found my calling in writing, speaking, in helping people, in listening to their stress or their worries, in bringing transformation, and by spreading my smile or happiness. The second beautiful lesson and the second strategy that I really applied in my life is schedule worry breaks. And this is one of the best strategies I had found. All of us has some kind of worry, or all of us are going up through some kind of stress in our life. And what we do, we keep thinking about it all our waking hours. We keep thinking, we overthink. So what is really taught in this book that you should schedule a worry time that is called as worry break. It may be weekly, twice, thrice, depends on you, how much time you get. Set an alarm, as for example, for 30 minutes. Allow yourself to cry, to bellow, to write, to shed tears, to hit your pillow, or whatever you want to do. And as soon as the alarm goes off, just wipe your tears, move out, make a shift, read a book, listen to music, enjoy, dance, go for a nature walk. And this way, you will become more productive and will be able to handle your life more better. The third one, writing thank you notes. How many of you wants to get appreciated? And who doesn't? Everyone, yes.
Yeah.
And it's a basic human nature. So I inculcated this habit whenever people message me, whenever they talk something good about whatever change I have brought, or speaking or writing. Even if you can go on my Facebook and you can say for a single comment, I write personal thank you to each and every one of them. This will bring a change in you as well as in the other person. The fourth one, very important, recruit a board of directors. What do companies do? They recruit a board of directors so as to take effective decisions for the company, for the success of company. Do we have that board of directors for our life? Do we have some people around us who can give us correct suggestion, right decision when we want? You should choose a board of director for you. That person may be live, that person may be physical present with you or not. I can give you example. Mahatma Gandhi was a board of director for Nelson Mandela. So this way, the person can be alive or not. That is not going to make a shift. You just have to appoint someone as a board of director for your life. And the last one, I don't know why you all are Toastmasters. I am a Toastmasters because of this book. Because the book has taught me that one should take public speaking course once in a lifetime if you want to come out of your fears, if you want to become a confident person, if you want to grow your confidence. And that is why I am here, and that is why I am a Toastmaster. So I will say there is no point in saying no to this book. This book is as essential as any religious book to read. Trust me, you will read it, and please message me if you really love this book. Over to you, Monish.
Thank you, Shweta. Um, I have read Robin Sharma's 5 Club book. So this is the second book I'll read now after your suggestion and review. So thank you for that wonderful review. It has intrigued me to read this book for sure. Now it's time for our audience to participate. The audience round. And the audience activity we have today is assume that you have written a book. If you already written, you don't need to assume, but assume that you have written a book and you have sold 999 copies so far of that book. And today you're going to sell the 1,000th copy to all of us here. You can share your experience of writing book, feeling of being author, the best review, the best critic, the best feedback that you received, the recommendation you received, if why you suggest someone to read your book, what triggered you writing the book. Uh, are you coming with a revised edition or new edition based on your experience of writing this one? You can share anything about the book that you want. So start nominating yourself and then we'll get started. Of course, you'll get 1 to 2 minutes of time to speak on the topic. So nobody wants to be author. I asked you initially.
I would say just imagine yourself to be an author, a writer, and try to stay in that situation. See, that is what writers do. They bring you to a scenario, they build a scenario or a storyline, and you have an environment. For example, it is a horror story. You would imagine some ghosts, some dark brown trees, dark blue night, the sky is really dark. So you can imagine right now. Or if you've fallen in love, you'll imagine you can read a love story and feel as if like all the red balloons are in the air and the hearts are fluttering here and there.
Amelia, for that encouragement. So Deep, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Let me try. Okay, being an author, and I would like to. I have written a book on self healing. Now, if we compare today's scenario, where as an human being interacts with other human being with a will in his heart, that certain aspirations has to be fulfilled, certain will has to be achieved. So with that selfishness, most of an individual, I won't be saying all individual, most of the individual interact with that. In this particular transaction, some of our feelings, some of our expressions that we want to articulate it, we are not able to express it. So the my book express on self healing and how much we have to interact and how much we have to indulge ourselves as an individual with others in getting the worldly things done, but most importantly how we have to communicate to ourselves for the betterment of ourselves, how we have to use various techniques so that as an individual we would be spreading an aura of positivity, so that we could also involve with others as an individual to create a better person, and how to be an asset to an individual as well as to the society, so that it would be a win-win situation in terms of worldliness and in terms of personal aspects also. So if you are looking to hook up for the various secret techniques of how personally you have to involve yourself, stay tuned and get involved yourself in reading my book. And if you're looking over to get maximum result of yourself, so please read my book. So this is the 999 copy. One copy would make you an extra technique, which would I will be giving an invitation to articulate your feeling in terms of making the book more valuable. Over to you.
Thank you, Sudeep. I think the gist that I got is how to make yourself an asset to the society and personally. That would definitely make me read the book. Now we'll move on quickly to Ravindra. Ravindra, you want to go next?
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Ravinder, and I am from the Toastmaster Club of Dwarka. So it's really a great pleasure to attend such a wonderful meeting, because I have never been to a part of this kind of meeting, because it's really, a treasure. And thank you very much for sharing this wonderful insight of different titles and writers. Well, as far as if I become a writer, the first book which I will write, the title would be "Don't Read This," because it's a human tendency. If you tell them to do something, it will be very reluctant. People will be very reluctant. The moment you see, you write "Don't read this," it may be injurious to your health. So definitely something, you see, you have seen, smoking, is warning sign is there, despite that people go for it. So take this negative into the positive aspect, what I feel. And then once you write "Don't read this book," then you write anything you want to write it there. Why people should not read it? Because that will be the book which will give you the insight of the society. Because the moment society comes to know what we should not do, and that books very clearly reflects why the author has said don't read it, because it is a mirror for the society to show exactly what society is doing. For example, without being biased, like the farmer movement is going on. I mean, it's something where people are really touched, and it's like closing eyes and not paying any attention, thinking it's none of my business. But it is a part of society. Of course we have to be a part of society. When you are a part of a society, obviously you are supposed to do something to make a better environment. And so my book, if it says don't read it, obviously it will be basically a mirror which will show the right and the honest face of the society. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravindra. I'm sure we all are waiting for don't read this book, and we'll all read it. Moving on to Sonika. Sonika, you want to go next?
Yeah, thank you
I
so
wish I would
much.
have been able to see Ravinder.
Ravindra.
My camera bandwidth is it's not there,
No,
but definitely maybe I will definitely join your club, these meetings next time also. Thank you
yeah.
so much for your appreciation. I really appreciate. Thank you so much.
Yeah, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, we
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Okay, so although I am not an avid reader, but I have started reading, and now I'm I'm an author. So in a very less time, I have written a book. So it's a great job for me. By the way, I have written a book. It's a self-improvement book, because most of the time I keep reading these kinds of books, and I want to. So I have decided to write a self-improvement book, a self-help book. Uh, while writing this book, I kept in mind, especially for the teenagers, although it is for all age groups, but while I was writing, so teenagers were in my mind, because uh, at that age, they feel difficult to make the decision. For example, school students who have passed 12th or 10th, they have to make certain decisions when they are entering into colleges, and there are other things as well. So we learn things from our surroundings, what kind of people we are around. And I want to write a book, so I have written a book for them, because so that it can help them to make to make good decisions, and to behave ideally, in the and they can get to know the best, what are the they can take decisions on the basis of character ethic rather than personalities that we are surrounded with. So and this is now I have, and my books, it's my 1,000th copy, and I have really received good reviews, and from a lot of people. So I can say, you all should go for this book, and it will really going to help you, and it will really going to solve a lot of your questions that you might not get might not get be solved by the people around you, because we don't know, this is the age in which we are just learning, and we are started making decisions in our life. So this book is really going to help you. So thank you so much. Over to you, Manish.
Yeah. Thank you, Sonika. Oh, wish I could be teenager again so I could read that book and make right choices and not be a copycat. Thank you for that wonderful speech. Let's move on to Geeta. Geeta, you ready to go next?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled one. Yes, these are the famous lines by Robert Frost. Even I took the option of writing a
बंद कर दिया
book.
तूने हाँ हमें
And
क्या
for
क्या
that,
बताना है exactly
I wrote a book on parenting. I wrote because I am a teacher and I know what are the kinds of problems faced by the parents. And that is the reason. And I would like to thank Leaders Are Readers Book Club for that. I have been procrastinating since long. I had been really delaying it. But after joining this group, I heard such wonderful authors. I came in contact with so many good writers and authors that I also can't believe it. I'm so happy. Wow. 999 books already. One more book and it'll be 1000. I'm on cloud nine. I'm so happy. So happy. I can't believe that I really did it. And I'm sure you will also. It's my earnest request to each one of you. Please do go. You will, you will find a number of your problems solved. There are so many queries going on in the mind of parents, of our young children, teenagers, even grown up children. And you will find the solution to that. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Geeta. I would definitely need that book. I have a 3 years old daughter, and parenting is the biggest question right now in my mind. So thank you for that. Let's move on to Pooja. Pooja, you ready?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Do you know what is my biggest concern for future? Yes, this is the book which I'm going to tell you about today. Yeah, I have already 999 copies are already being sold and 1000 lucky one is left and it's for the special person with 90% discount. What my book tells about, it's about the dark side of technology. What will happen when 2030 will be there? Considering the research papers, movies, etc., I have compiled 10 chapter book which you will find very fascinating and you will be moving into the world of fascinations, virtual reality, social media and all, just like the Toastmasters meeting is now happening on Zoom, how the technology has taken place since the lockdown happened 5 years back in 2020. So at that time I started writing that book and by 2022 I published the book and people are seeing lots of similarities just like the Simpsons. They can correlate the things with data science. It has lots of stuff related to data science, your imagination and the virtual reality world which we are moving into. Do you know in past we used to travel by a bus and trains etc. Now everything is on these big goggles and we are into virtual world. Now we can travel into Mars and we are talking about Jupiter. But do you know when I was young we used to travel to Manali and lay trips. These were the plans. The world is changing very rapidly and the things have changed so much. So I hope you will love this book. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. I think right now it might sound a fiction, but yeah, a few years down the line, that might be a reality book. Thank you, Pooja, for that wonderful book. Um, Next, we have Mayank. Mayank, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm already ready.
Yeah, please go.
So, hey everyone, this is Mayank, and my book name is The Third Eye, and I think so. It's already been sold because, in this book, I have told like how to activate your third eye, your pineal gland, which is you already have it, and when you activate it, you're gonna be a superhuman, and you can get the glimpse of the future, and you can have like you will become so radiate, and you will become so positive, so no negative energy. I'm talking about the spiritual negative energy, or you can see that some people are negative, so it will automatically delete from your life. And yes, I think you should buy my book, because all I think I remember that all the great people in the past um, activated activated it, and somehow I think in this era lots of people doesn't know about it, because like it's gone and everybody's busy on studying in college, schools, doing jobs. And it's like creating your abs. Like, we already have six pack ab, but we have to go to the gym and we have to do some exercises, and then we will have a six pack ab. So you already have that gland in between your eye, so you just have to do some meditation. So in this book you will find all the meditation techniques, how to activate it, and when you will activate it, so you will get lots of power. So buy my book. Bye.
Thank you, Mayank. I'm going to definitely buy that book and get my third eye activated. Thank you for that. Now, can we have a poll, a voting link for the best speaker today? I mean, that for activity, spoken activity. Thank you.
So while this poll is going on, I have written a lot of poetry, and I will soon publish it. Of course, you guys will be the first one to know about it and share it with you on all different forums. But till the time you want to probably hear me saying poetry or reciting it, I always do it on my Insta live, so you can join me. But that place doesn't have the same name as you see it on the screen. It says Amicable Amelia. I'll post it in the chat. Maybe you can visit and see. I've done a lot of poetry sessions. If you like it, be there. It's okay. A warm welcome and invitation to everyone.
Surely, Amelia, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I really loved your session today and how you conducted it. Also, which is your favorite Rumi book?
Well, I cannot name one book. It would be quite quite an injustice. To my favorite authors, I don't see that there's one book. But then, no, I will not say that. Let me be
Come
respectful.
on, you did get something in your head.
No, I will not.
Okay, side me.
Yes. We'll talk about it offline.
Okay, now I will hand it over to Amelia to declare the winner and anything she wants to share.
For that, I'll need to know the winner because I don't have access to the polls.
We'll get the results soon.
Okay, I'm waiting. Okay. All right. What I would want to say is this activity that you all did and you gave your speeches, mini speeches, were amazing. They were fantabulous. I could see that creative creature creeping out and literally speaking out your heart and mind, soul, everything. You had amazing thought process. Everybody was like just flying high, but there is a winner, and that winner is any guesses? Any guesses? You can guess. Unmute yourself and give a loud shout.
Ravinder,
Sorry.
Ravinder, Geeta ma'am.
Geeta ma'am.
Okay, and okay, it's Geeta Kashyap. Congratulations, Geeta.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And she's always visiting all the clubs and other meetings. I must say that she's definitely there. She does a great job. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So what next? Monish, what next?
Yeah, we can move on to Mayank, who is going to be the
Yes,
keynote speaker for the next time.
yes. So our next, and I'm first of all, let me thank you all for being such wonderful audience. I want to thank all of you who participated in this activity. There were a lot of messages pouring in about that video that I made about two favorite things about your author, favorite author or something. And I want to thank Abu Shadab, Shefali, Nadisha, Aditya Sharma, Arushi Kapoor, Pankaj Pradhan, Shweta, Santosh Pathak, Vimanyu Ji Sahu, Paramjot Singh, Taiba Mahmood, Nisha Mahanta, and Mansi. They all poured in their thoughts. So thank you so much. You guys were really dot on the thought, and I actually loved all of them. Now I want to just go ahead and introduce the next speaker. And who is the next speaker? That is somebody who is right there with us. He is very simple, without any dimple. Sometimes he gets a pimple. He's very kind, not easy to find. I'm joking, please don't mind. Okay, so he is Mayank Joshi. He's a writer. He sometimes writes poetry. And other than writing poetry, he likes to eat, although it's the body that needs. So he eats. He likes to meet new people. He wants to learn about different cultures, people, languages. And that's our keynote speaker for the next session. Let's applaud for Mayank Joshi.
Thank you so much for a warm welcome, Amilyaa. Hey everybody, this is Mayank, and I will be the next keynote speaker next week. The leaders are the Readers Book Club, and so I kind of told you about all this thing on that topic. So my keynote speech would be on third eye. Yeah, I have written a book about it, but yeah, it's another part. So what is, I'm just giving you a brief introduction about what is third eye. So third eye is just a gland which you already have it. It's like it's not like it's kind of like a eye here between your two eyes. It's in the, it's scientific, I mean its scientific name is pineal gland. So you already have it. So I will be telling you how to activate it so you can become a superhuman, and you can have lots of powers like seeing the future, or like downloading information from the universe. So you don't need to read lots of books, because you don't have time to read all the books, because all the information is coming from the universe. If you are a writer, so you can just relate to that, because like when we write things, we just think and something comes up and we write. So all the things are in the universe, all the future discoveries are in the universe. So when you will activate it, you will get the perks to see the future. And you can even I have experienced, I have seen the outer world without my physical eyes when I was just doing lots of meditation last year. So yeah, that would be my keynote speech. And yeah, happy to see you all, and we will meet next week. And yeah, see you. Bye.
Thank you, Mayank. Now I would like to hand it over to Sonika.
Thank you so much, Monish. Thank you. Wow, yeah, what a wonderful session it was. Can we have a huge round of applause, a virtual applause for this successful session today? Thank. And the people who made it successful. First, thank you so much, our keynote speaker, Toastmaster Amilyaa.
Thank you.
I wanted to listen you more. I was feeling like, yeah, please don't stop it. Please keep speaking. When you started with Shakespeare, and especially you talked about Julius Caesar, I read this play in my school times, and you know, it just Yeah, I also read that speech and all that. So, but I did not observe it like in the way you explained it today. It was amazing. And then you talked about Rumi. Yes, I read his quotes, and but I was not aware that he was such a romantic poet, and it was he manifested the true love, the true form of love. And the same you spoke for Mahadevi Verma. I'm really going to read these writers and poets. Thank you so much. You manifested their work in such a way that I did not want you to stop. I wanted you to keep listening. I wanted to keep listening you. Seriously, thank you so much for that. And
I want to say something if you allow me. I've been
yeah,
reading all the
sure.
thoughts that were shared on the group, and I really loved the thought of Arushi, because she talked about Shubhangi Sarup, because she talked about a different writing, and she also explained it in a very crisp manner as to why she likes this writer and which book. And Khalid Hosseini, of course, is a renowned writer. So thank you, Shubhangi. Thank you, Arushi. You are the one who is the winner, or I would say outstanding, in terms of your expressions about uh, the question that I had put, or the activity that we had put forward. I really loved it. In short, 2 lines, you said it all. So over over to you,
Thank you.
Sonika.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amelia, and thank you so much, Arushi. And I can't avoid Monish, who is the anchor of today's session. So you did a great job. You have recently started joining these sessions, and you have taken up this role, and you did a great job today. Thank you so much, Monish. And the timer, Toastmaster Paramjot, he timed everything. And thank you so much for taking up this role. And I can't miss to say thank you to our tech master, Toastmaster Ritika. And she always do a great job. And now, as we are running out of time, can we click a picture, Toastmaster Ritika? And as Toastmaster Geeta is the winner, so I would like her to give a signature pose today.
Switch on your cameras.
Yeah, please
Everybody switch on your cameras, please.
Ritika, I'm outside. I will not. You guys please continue for this photo.
Mayank, Ishang, please switch on your camera.
Yeah, what's the signature pose? Okay.
Done.
Thank you so much, Ritika. And yes, I missed one name, Toastmaster Shweta Maheshwari. I have started reading this book, believe me, and it's an amazing book. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. And we have our South Delhi Toastmasters meeting on every Saturday. Do join it from 6:30 onwards. Thank you so much. Meet you next week, next Tuesday. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. And for my copy of my book, the 900 after 999, I will go ahead and give it free to the one who joins me on Insta. Yay!
I'm already there, Amilyaa, so you can give that copy to me.
It's only for new users.
You were already there.
Okay. With a new account, I will join.
Okay. Thank you, guys. It was really wonderful being here. Thank you, Sonika. Thank you, Arushi, Geeta ji. Thank you, Ritika, Pooja, Paramjot, Mayank, Jyotika, Babita, and Ishang, because you guys made it so lively. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Amilyaa. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.